So, can Hereford cattle cut it on a grass-fed farm? I think the answer is really easy for that. It's probably, maybe, who knows? But that's actually a question I get asked quite a bit. It's kind of strange when I tell people we run a grass-fed farm and that our main cow herd is Herefords. People always ask, oh, Herefords can perform on a grass-fed system? And it blows my mind every time. I can't get used to people asking it. I ask them, you know, what do you think Hereford cows were made for? I just got to show you this. That is lucky. You talk about not 1 extra inch of electric wire on that spool. But anyway, people ask me that all the time, and I think, you know, I generally give them all the same answer. And it's, you know, usually I start with, well, think back. Don't have to go back too far. Even today, you can go find some giant ranches that still run primarily Hereford cattle. Not hard to find, but they're not a super popular breed by today's standards, I guess. But they're probably still a top 5 type breed. But kind of what I tell people is there are Herefords that can be managed on a grass-fed system, and there are Herefords that cannot. There are plenty of Herefords that have been bred to be show animals, that have been raised to be pets, all these other things, and those Herefords cannot cut it on a grass-only system. So you always hear about grass-fed genetics and all these things. I think it's extremely important that not so much the breed of cattle you have. I mean, obviously some breeds are generally more suited for a grass-fed system, but I've seen this with sheep, and pretty much all the breeds of cattle I've raised is that there are always individuals within any breed that just excel in a particular situation. So for me, we're in deep South Louisiana. You know, there's a certain style of cow that seems to just do well for me, and I see them within each breed. I've had Dexters that were exceptional, I've had Angus that were exceptional, and I've had Herefords that were exceptional, and I've had exactly the opposite, where I've had these breeds where you get individuals that just, they don't cut it. Like, I constantly cull cows and calves to try and get what I want. And then I get animals that you think, oh, that animal's too large a frame, not gonna make it, but it turns out to be one of your easiest keeping cows that raises a huge calf. So I think you gotta manage the genetics within whatever you're trying to do. So for me, I've got these Hereford cows. I'm gonna cull the ones that don't cut it, and I'm gonna keep the heifers and stuff off the ones that do. And I've got a set of Hereford cows that pretty much every one that I have in this group right now seems to excel in this situation. The second part is no cow is going to do well unless you've got them on this kind of stuff. So you have your cows on just some exceptional grass, and even some of the more mediocre animals can do well enough to be profitable for you. You can see this is my cool season grasses. I've got a lot of ryegrass, that's this taller stuff, lots of thick clover, and you see what these cows are doing. They're stuffing their mouths, and they are putting on pounds. They raise calves for me every year, so absolutely they can thrive on a grass-only system, but they won't always thrive on a grass-only system. Again, you got to cull mercilessly, keep only the animals that really seem to perform for you. And you also have to keep the goods under them. You gotta feed these things good groceries. Grass-fed doesn't mean you can go throw them out in any old pasture with any old grass, but any time of the year. If you watch my channel for any length of time, you know I've had some failure animals that I've sold off, gotten rid of, and then I've had some struggles with managing our pasture. You know, we have droughts and all these other things that happen around here. Sometimes our animals do well and sometimes they don't. We do the best we can with what we're given, and we're constantly evolving and trying to improve every aspect of our farm. So that's kind of the two main points I drive home to people when I get those questions is there are individuals within every breed that can do it and individuals that can't. And you really have to be feeding them well to know if you have the ones that can or can't. If you put an animal in this kind of grass, you know, 50% legumes and good cool season grasses with high protein, and they're not putting on weight, you got a problem. And you can't be, so like, I got pregnant cows in here. This is probably my skinniest cow right now, but she's got a big calf on her, so she was kind of one of my out of sync calvers. Not her fault, my fault. I had a bull get in when we didn't want it, and she's a little thin, but she's raising a calf, but she's also putting weight on right now, so our grass has really come in, and she seems to be doing pretty well. This is pretty much the typical right now. And you look, it's a bred cow. She's about 3 months from having a calf, and she's just wide as can be. You can see belly poking out on both sides, and I think if I go around, they're pretty much all like that. A lot of them even have some nice fat rolls around their tail head. So these cows, I think they're all doing pretty well. This one also has a calf on her, so this is a giant cow. I know the camera probably doesn't do her justice, but she's my biggest cow. She's probably 1,500 pounds, something like that. But she's a good cow. So she's one of those ones that, like I said, doesn't really fit the mold. You know, you always hear about 1,000-pound cows and South Pole and all these other things. I have South Pole. I have 1,000-pound cows. I've had 800-pound cows. I've also had 1,500-pound cows. I think you just have to manage, keep what works, and get rid of what doesn't work in your situation. But yeah, Herefords can definitely thrive on a grass-only system. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.